Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sodaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling Podcast.
Oh, Betsky.
Marcy.
I'm very excited today.
I'm so pumped.
We've been planning, we've been trying to plan this for months, and it's so,
Yeah.
so we're so happy it's finally coming together to have this guest on the podcast today. A lot of you probably know or have heard her podcast, guys. Welcome, Danielle Matar. Hello.
Hi. It's so much fun being here right now.
We are so pumped.
And I don't want to spoil it for people, but you're going to have fun stories because we've heard some live at a live show.
Yeah,
it
when
was
we
so
all met
great.
up at Luminous Mike.
Yes, it was
Yes.
at the Center for Philosophical Research, right?
Yeah, our
Yes.
SpectreVision Radio. I think,
Yeah.
and Daniel hosted with all the. That was an amazing night.
It was
Got to hear a
so
lot of really cool stories. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Crazy stories. I love it
Crazy
so much.
And you host a podcast that is in the same flavor profile that we have going on here,
Yes.
right? Tell us about your
Yep.
podcast.
Well, Geist was a pandemic baby that came out. I work as a photographer in Toronto and didn't have anything to do. I have been obsessed with ghost stories since I was a kid. And I got introduced to podcasts, and my first reaction was to find all the haunted podcasts and listen to them, but didn't really find any that completely kind of itched my scratch. And I was like, this is so cool listening to these stories. And I just wanted to create my own just for fun. I had no idea what I was doing. No idea. I think I recorded on a phone, and my my friend recorded on her phone, and we did it virtually. And then I edited it together, and Bo, who I started the podcast with, he put some music to it and edited it, and we put it out there in the world, and we got like 12 listens the first day, and I was just absolutely stoked. But it's grown. I just wanted to tell scary stories, but it has grown into a community of people that can kind of support each other through these experiences. People don't feel isolated in their experiences anymore, because it's weird, right? It's almost like, I don't mean for this to be like a PSA, but it's just like they do. Everyone that has had paranormal or strange experiences do feel completely isolated, and I never really anticipated it to turn into that. But a lot of the messages we get is that people feel so validated after they listen. They feel like they're not crazy, and that makes me feel good. I love storytelling so much, and I love listening to people's stories. So this is just an addiction for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. It's so fun because we've had listeners where they'll hear other people's stories and be like, oh my God, that same thing happened to me. And I thought I didn't know that was a thing. And it's so, it's validating. It's so nice to have a community where it's like, we all believe you. It's awesome.
There's so many different parallels between hauntings as well that you could actually write like a book based on, how do you know you're haunted? WikiHow, if you're haunted, like there's so many common denominators in all of different like scenarios, whether people are being tortured by ghosts in their dreams, or if they have just a friendly ghost in their house, or if it's like a residual haunting. It's fascinating. It is fascinating. We live in a pretty cool world most of the time. Yeah.
I mean, and there's so many parts of it we don't understand, or that we've only had glimpses into. So it's like, who knows what else is out there? I think that's what excites me the most about the paranormal.
Yeah. I love that too. I love the unknown. I love that we don't know everything. And I love that I don't think if anyone were to ever ask me if I believed in ghosts, I actually don't think I have a definitive answer.
Oh.
I've seen things, but we all question our own experiences. We all
Yes.
question everything all the time. We never trust our gut. And I just enjoy that I'll never really have an answer.
Well, so
It's
that's always our
lovely.
first question is what, if anything, do you believe about the paranormal?
I was thinking about this today, just as I was, thinking about doing this podcast. But I asked myself, I'm like, do I believe in ghosts? Like, do I really believe in ghosts? Like,
Me.
like I mean,
Funny.
I believe all of my guests that come on. I believe everyone that tells me they've seen an alien or, that they've seen fairies or anything like that. I have a really hard time people just come up to you and just lie. You know what I mean? But I've experienced things. I have seen things that are unexplainable, and I know that there's got to be more to it. So I know that I can't say that they don't exist. I think they probably do based on everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I've never had a really successful experience with like a psychic, like I've never had a psychic reading that's gone well, but I definitely believe in them. I just recently saw a ghost for the first time in my life with my eyes.
Can
At least
Can
I
we-
think it. I think.
can we
I think I
hear
did.
about it? Let's jump in. Can we? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would love to. I would love to get your opinions on it too. So,
Yeah.
there are guests that I've had on my show twice. They are called the Blumbergs. It's a Blumberg family. They had a show on Discovery Plus. It's called, holy shit.
We can.
Let me
Should we
look it up.
Google it?
I'll look it up.
So we bought a funeral home.
Look it.
I'll
Look
say
it up.
that
Marcy,
again.
Look it up, Marcy.
I'll say that again. They have a show on Discovery Plus called "So We Bought a Funeral Home."
Oh,
We bought a
yes.
funeral home where they moved from the city of Toronto. They're from the UK. They've lived all over the world, and they were living in Toronto. They sold their home over the pandemic, and they moved to Dresden, Ontario, and they bought a funeral home from the 1800s. And it's like 18,000 square feet, and they've restored it.
Whoa.
Her design is legendary. She is very eclectic, and she's made this place into one of the most stunning manors I've ever been to. And they invited me multiple times to come, and I've interviewed them there. Their kids, Raph and Noah, are incredible. Her husband Aaron is incredible. They're just a really cool family. If you ever want to, they're a great watch. It's a great show to watch. I'd been multiple times because their house is remarkably active, very haunted. I've been to quite a few really like legendarily haunted places. Like I have Sorrel Weed House in Savannah, Georgia is very haunted. I've been there, and just a whole bunch of different locations. This place was different. It was very alive. Like you could just tell, but it was a really good feeling. All the times I had ever been there, really good feeling. We'd hear people walking around, just while I'm recording. They have a speakeasy downstairs, and full with a coffin bar.
What?
That's
Yeah, they have a full
fun.
bar inside
That's
of a coffin.
fun.
Oh, it's just like the coolest thing. We'll sit there and we'll interview. We'll hear people walking around. We'll hear doors closing. I've caught it a couple of times while I'm recording. I just left it into the episodes. And it's always just been good vibes. So after a while, their families, his job took their family to Ottawa. So they decided people were so interested in visiting the house that they decided to make it into an Airbnb. So a lot of people were starting to rent it just to experience the ghosts. Yeah, you can stay there. And I'm just saying that, like, if you stay there, just get ready, especially if you stay there for multiple days, something will happen. Usually not the first night, but then every other night things start to happen. Or if you've been there a few times. So you guys should go.
I'm in. Oh God. I'm in.
Come to Canada. I'll bring you guys there. I'll just stay there for a week. And it's actually beautiful.
I'm in.
Yeah. So they had started renting it out as an Airbnb, and I just like same with anyone that rents their place out with Airbnb. There's some horror stories, some rowdy guests and all that kind of stuff. And Heather has really just been a curator and a protector of the house since she's moved in. She's really felt that it's been her responsibility to take care of these ghosts. She talks to them all the time. It's generational families that have been there. And that those are the people that are haunted. So my best friend's getting married, and for her bachelorette, I rented the manor and brought a whole bunch of girls up there.
Yes,
that's
because
a dream.
Isn't that cool? Like,
that is so rad.
It was pretty rad. It takes about 3 hours to drive there, so we had this really cool road trip, and then we arrive, and Heather was there, gave us a tour of the house, and I had been there before, so I kind of let everyone else trickle in before me, and just so they could really take it in. But when I got in there, it felt different, and I couldn't really explain it. It just felt different. It didn't feel as warm and fuzzy as it always did. It felt really kind of heavy, and it just felt heavy and really strange. And Heather, who is lovely and bubbly and sarcastic and hilarious and swearing every 5 minutes, like, is always really happy and so excited and like, hey, come in. And she seemed really on edge and really nervous. And so I didn't really pay much attention. Everyone else is just like so in awe with the entire home, and they're walking through and oohing and eyeing. And I just kind of like look at Heather, and she turns at me and she's like, so I don't want to say anything, but the house has been really crazy in the last 24 hours. She's like, I don't know what's going on, but it's weird. And I was like, it feels different in here. Like it just feels different. It's weird. She's like, no, it's been really crazy for the last 24 hours. And I was like, okay. So she's like, can I bring you down to the speakeasy? Like, can I bring you guys to the speakeasy? She's like, I need you to stand in there and tell me I'm not fucking crazy. I need you to feel what it feels like in there. The speakeasy is so cool. It's designed so cool. It's the place you want to sit down, have a martini, and just like chill.
Yeah.
Yes, like the lighting and everything. And so I walk in there, and it was as if you walked into, in the scene at the end of The Birds when she walks out and all the birds are sitting there looking at her.
Ew.
That's what it felt like. You walked in, and it just felt like you had energy and eyes staring at you. It felt extremely heavy and gross, and it actually made me feel extremely panicky. And I'm not really one to go in and be like, I'm not a feeler. I'm not like, oh, I can sense something. I can feel, like, I am not like that. I'm, if I feel like something's weird, I'm like, it's kind of weird in here. I don't look for it. So I was like, it does feel really oppressive in here. It really does. I'm like, you could just, it was very palpable. So it was really easy to mention that it did. And my friends were kind of like, yeah, we kind of feel a little icky too, but like, we don't know what it usually is. We don't know if it's the thrill of being in a haunted location or anything like that.
Right.
So, yeah. So they were like kind of picking up on it a little bit. We continue on our tour. We pick our rooms. We go downstairs. We make dinner. We invite Heather to stay the first night that we're there because we're like, just stay. Like, it's so lovely to have you here. And so we sit down and have dinner. And Heather always brings out the spirit box all the time, every 5 minutes.
Good.
She sends me spirit box recordings all the time that I kind of get to decipher, which is really cool. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is what it said. One time she sent. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, I love that. Like, some people are like, "Come, please see my rose garden," and then that's the version of that. Like, I'm so proud of this. Please,
I love this.
Well, one time she sent me this this voice recording where it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and she suffers from insomnia, and she's an artist, so she'll paint. And she said she was sitting there, and she kept hearing noises coming from downstairs. Downstairs, they have a seance room as well in the basement. Yeah, it's really the best house. It's the best house.
It sounds so cool. We got
It's really cool.
Lizzie.
Yeah, no, you guys you could do a live episode there. It's like so amazing.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And she sent me this recording, and she was talking to the ghost box, and she's like, "Who's in the basement?" And she gets a recording back, and it's muffled. So she sent it to me, and I slowed it down, and I cleared it, and it said, "I am."
I just got chills. Awesome.
I thought there was going to be more to the sentence, and then when I realized it just said "I am," it got so much scarier to me.
It was so
It
scary.
made my mouth water in a way.
Yeah. And it's in this voice that's really kind of low and kind of sinister. It just goes,
Ooh.
"I am." She's
Ugh.
like, "What's in the basement?" "I am."
Ew. That's
it's-
awesome.
So that's where the speakeasy is. And that's where we were doing our interview. And that's where we were feeling these weird feelings. So she brings out the spirit box that we're now at dinner sitting down. She brings out the spirit box. And I actually have the session recorded on my phone if you want clips.
Oh, with
So
love.
So she starts saying, like, "Do we have anybody here with us? Do we have anybody here with us?" And the first thing we get is, "Get out."
Oh,
We've done spirit box there. We've done Ouija sessions there. Like, the ghosts in the house are not aggressive. They've never said anything other than, like, talking about stuff. One time I had a friend come through, like, just really, 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 this was a definitive get out. And Heather's like, "No, we're not getting out. Like, what is this? Like, who is this talking?" And we started getting grumbles and, like, different words, but every few minutes we would get out, get out, get out, get out. So we got get out clearly probably about 5 or 6 times. And at that point, Heather's like, "You know what? Like, let's just turn this off
turn this off. Get back to our enchiladas.
because we all got to go to our singular bedrooms after this and go to sleep for the night in this 18,000 square foot mansion."
May I ask, did anyone ask why?
Heather did say, "Why do you want us to get out?"
Yeah.
It didn't answer.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, you tried.
And-
You tried.
Yeah,
That's all you
we
can do
did.
is
We
try.
asked. But there were just, like, voices, like, there were names that were being called out that I think were regular. I have to double check what they were, but some names were being called out that was a friend of hers that had an experience there a little while ago where she was scratched. So they kept, so her name kept being said. All really crazy kind
Ooh.
of evidence, you know what I mean? But I'm
Yeah.
still like, okay, like, are we crossing a radio station? But, I don't know a lot of radio stations with the hit song "Get
Where
Out."
they're
so-
constantly like, and up next, get out.
I mean, one of my favorite
From downtown Hamilton, get out.
Get
I do
out.
love that JoJo song, "Get Out Right Now."
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
maybe it was like a JoJo marathon.
We're going to play the same song over and over and over.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, that was the first night, and then
Yeah.
we all petrifyingly go to sleep, and we wake up the next day, and the house is kind of different. It feels a little different. It feels calmer. It feels nicer. So we're having breakfast, and Heather's about to leave. So then for the second night, we were there on our own without her. And so she's about to leave. And I was like, "Heather, I wonder if perhaps because you've had so many Airbnb guests that have been coming in here and being kind of rowdy, if there's a bit of anxiety in the house," because that's all I felt. Like, it felt like
Whoa.
so much anxiety. And she said, "You know what? Like, maybe because I felt a lot of anxiety when I was, like, cleaning up and getting things ready for you guys. Like, I don't know. I felt really, like, anxious." So we all decided that that's what it was because we're like, there's nothing evil here.
Makes sense. And like,
and-
get out is like, get out of here,
Yeah.
please.
Well, we decided that for the rest of the day, it would be a really good idea to go visit the graves of the ghosts that haunt the house. So the families are, which is a very smart move. The families that lived in the home are buried in the same cemetery. There had been one extremely unfortunate situation that happened in the house involving the deaths of 4 children in the house that were unalived by someone in the house. And so they were all buried there. And then another family that lived there, 2 of their daughters had fallen down the stairs and died, and they're always seen on the stairs.
2 of them, huh?
Yeah, so big. There's a lot of, like, Heather has done so much research on the house, and unfortunately, like, can't really get into it because, like, you know, the families are still out there. But but one of the women that fell down the stairs is the lady in blue, and she's seen on the stairway all the time, and she just sits and smiles, and everyone's very happy with her. But so we went to go visit those. Yeah.
That's nice.
They have really lovely ghosts. They have, so they have, let me actually, before I get into this, let me talk about just some of their ghosts that are there is the lady in blue on the stairs. There are children. There are children. One of the children actually followed a family member of theirs home, and they had to actually bring someone in to get rid of her because she followed them home. There is a man in a gray suit or a brown suit that walks throughout the house that Heather sees, like she said, about twice a week. He walks through the house. He doesn't look at her. He doesn't say anything. He just walks the same path. There's another man that walks through the house and goes up the stairs. There is, which I had learned about, and there is, is it Mr. Hicks? There's another man that stands outside the windows. But and then there's constant movement in the house. There's constant door. Oh, and then there's another.
Gosh.
There's another ghost that is on the top floor that is really attached to her daughter, and she's this beautiful, like, loving woman who just like misses her daughter and goes and checks in on Heather's daughter all the time, and so she's there. And then like so many others. Like every time I go there, there's like a new ghost.
Wow.
So Heather was telling us all this in the morning too. So I had already known this, the girls didn't, and it was a good start of the day. So I said,
all of your friends were like pumped about this? Like they were all like, cool? Or was there like one or two being like,
they were like, I thought we were going to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Where are the
see Magic Mike. Come on.
What's all
There
that?
is a ghost called Magic Mike. He will.
One of the ghosts reveals itself at some point. So
yeah.
double entendre. So they're all like excited about it, but they're also apprehensive because I'm the same way. You can only be so brave. Where you're just like, yeah, ghosts. And then you're like, okay, yeah, ghosts, cool. And then you're like,
yeah, going
ghosts.
to bed. Okay, ghosts.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
I'm so brave till I go to bed. So brave. I'll go through all the dark corners. I'll stay in all the dark rooms. I'll go through everything. And then I have to go to bed and I'm petrified.
Going to bed and going to the bathroom. It's like my bravery's out of there.
Look, if I see a spider in the house, I'm like, that's fine. It's a spider. But if I go to bed and like, I don't know where it is and it could crawl on me,
I'm not sleeping at all.
I'm freaking out. Yeah.
You wouldn't like my house. I have pet spiders.
I mean, no, I live up in the hills, so I have spiders, but it's like, I don't even, like, they don't bother me, but then I'm like, oh,
Right.
if it's in my room, no, I don't know what it's going to do
It's
when
in
I
my
go to
mouth.
sleep.
It's in my mouth.
I'm the
it's
same
in my
way. Even
belly.
with pet spiders, like I'm like, well, I don't want to go to bed with a spider in my room.
Yeah,
They end up on my
right.
That's
face.
how I feel about ghosts, though. It's like, I like them when I'm up and walking around and looking for them, but I don't want them crawling up in my nose at night.
No.
No.
I'll definitely be a proud, brave person until I go to bed for sure. And then I'm like, because somebody want to sleep in here with me.
Yes.
But I had brought up going to visit the graves and everyone was into it. We thought it was really respectful. We were in this house and we're like asking them questions and all that jazz. So we go to the graveyards, we find their graves, we visit them, we say thank you, we say hello. And then we go back to the house and we walk in and we are like, hey guys, like we should go, let's have a drink in the speakeasy. And we're like, yeah, let's do this. And so we all get our drinks and we go down to the speakeasy and we walk in and there's this vent lying in the middle of the floor. And we're like, what is this? And it had been ripped out of the ceiling. And there was plaster everywhere and it was on the floor. And we were just like, what the hell happened? And so I was like, this is so weird. I picked it up and I was trying to put it back in and I couldn't even get it in. And I was like, okay. So I phoned Heather. I said, hey, I'm so sorry. We didn't do it. Thing fell out of the ceiling. It looks like a vent. I don't know. And she's like, oh, she's like, again. I'm like, yeah, it did. And she's like, I have glued that thing in there. She's like, it gets ripped out all the time. The ghost down there just rips it out. And I was like, are you sure it's just not tight enough or anything? And she's like, no, you won't be able to even get it back in. She's like, I have to hammer it in. And I was like, oh, that's true. I couldn't fit it back in. And so I was like, okay, weird. It could have been anything.
Right.
She said it wasn't, and I believe her, but I just I don't know. It's a vent.
There
right?
was
Yes.
a raccoon shaking a cocktail shaker behind the bar.
Cute. I want a
Who are we going to believe? A bunch of drunk girls or the homeowner? So, no big deal. Who cares kind of situation. And so we go out, we do some day activities, we come back. It's the longest day ever. And we decide we're going to shower and get ready and everyone's going to dress up for dinner and we're making this big gigantic dinner. We're all going to dress gothy and Victorian. Yeah. And so we go in the shower and there's 3 floors excluding the basement. There's the main floor, then there's the middle floor, and then the very top lofty floor. And then you can go up even higher to this different peak, but that's where the bedrooms reside. And everyone was using the shower, and we were all on the second floor, and we were discussing who was using what shower and just typical conversation. And then I realized that I left my toiletry bag downstairs. And I was talking to my friend Kate, and Kate's like, I'm going to use the shower upstairs after Nikki is done. And I was like, hey, cool. And Sarah and the other 2 girls that were there were like, hey, we're going to use this area. And we're like, okay, cool. So everyone just stayed in the area. Nikki's stepdaughter was like, I'm going to explore the haunted house by myself while you guys are in the shower. And she's too brave. So I was like, okay, cool, guys. Kate's like, okay, I'm going to go up. Kate goes up the stairs. I go downstairs. I get my toiletry bag and I come back upstairs. I walk down this long hall. I make a left-hand turn to go up this narrow staircase to the 3rd floor. And as I'm walking up, I catch the tail end of Kate going up the last couple of steps. I see her feet. She goes up and she goes up to the top floor. And, you have thoughts all the time in your brain. So I saw it, I was like, oh, I wonder what she was doing. Why would it take her so long to go up the stairs? And I get up to the top and I walk into the room and she's on the couch and she's got a blanket on her and she's reading a magazine. And I'm like, so I stopped and it didn't make any sense. And I'm like, and so I was like, hey, like, what's going on? She's like, oh, nothing. And so I walk into the other side of the room to see if maybe it was just one of the other girls, and no one was up there. And I walked back through, and the second she looked at me, she said, what's wrong? She's like, what did you see?
Yeah.
And I was like, are you the only person that's up here? She said, yeah. And she's like, yeah, why? And then she takes the blanket off. She's like, why? And I see that I see that she's wearing black pants. And the person I saw that was going up the stairs didn't have black pants on. They had on white pants and brown shoes. So at first in my mind, I was like, there were Uggs and sweatpants.
Right.
You know, because you're registering where you are.
Yeah.
And I just kind of looked at her and I was like, you're wearing black pants, and she's got like socks on, like black socks. And I was like, are you sure there's no one else up here? I'm like, where's Cam? Where's Sarah? Like, I'm like, where did anyone like come up here? She's like, no. She's like, Nikki. I'm like, where's Nikki? She's like, Nikki's in the shower. I'm like, I just saw somebody walking upstairs. Like, I just saw somebody walking up the stairs. I saw just their legs, but it was solid, like completely solid, like a person. So I never doubted it. I wasn't like, whoa.
Right.
It wasn't like ghostly legs. It was a pair of
you
legs
weren't
going up the stairs.
scared. You thought it
No.
was a friend.
When I thought back at it too, now even, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear the creaks.
Right.
It's a creaky place.
Yeah.
And so I was like, are you sure? And so I just back up and I go back down the stairs and I'm like calling for everyone. And because the house was so fancy, like around all the showers and the rooms, everyone's got like their own like little living area. So around the other bathroom, the other girls were sitting around talking about Korean skincare. And I was like, does any of you guys come upstairs? And they're like, no. And I said, well, where's Cam? This is my friend's stepdaughter. I'm like, where's Cam? And they're like, she's roaming around the house. And I said, okay, it was probably her. Maybe I missed her. I don't know, like whatever. Cam comes upstairs. She's like, what's going on? She's like, are you calling me? Cam's wearing jeans. And I'm like, did you go upstairs? I'm like, who was wearing white sweatpants today? I'm like, anybody? And everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm like, I saw somebody walking up the stairs. I saw someone walking upstairs, like solid legs. And at that point, I'm very like starting to get extremely overwhelmed because my brain is like flip-flopping. I'm like,
Yeah.
what did I just see?
Yeah.
And so I went back up to the top floor. Everyone came up. Nikki comes out of the shower and everyone's like, Danielle saw a ghost. I'm like, okay, like just. So I called Heather and I said, hey, she's like, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, can I ask you something? I said, one of the ghosts you said walks around the house, not the gray man or the brown. I'm like, there's another guy, right? She's like, yes, there's one ghost that just walks around the house as well. And I'm like, does he walk upstairs to Noah's room? She's like, he does. And I'm like, can I ask you what he wears? She's like, well, he has on this like brown tweedy kind of jacket and he has on these white pants that are kind of flood pants and brown shoes.
My God.
So I was like, I think I saw him. She's like, really? And I said, yeah. And I explained to her the situation. She's like, yeah, no, you saw him. You saw him. And I was like, to this day will sit. I've been to so many locations. I've spoken to so many people. I have actively looked and been to haunted locations looking, and I've been with people I've been with ghost hunters, like watching them do their thing. And it's still in my mind, even though I'm open to it, I just doubt and question what I saw.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's just we're conditioned. You know what I mean? I think that also too, when you do stuff like this, I think when you do stuff like this, you're really interested in ghosts. I feel that people that aren't necessarily on board will start to kind of pick it apart. They're like, "Oh, you're looking for it, or you want it so bad that you're going to think everything is haunted." So I do try and be kind of skeptical about what I experience. I do want it to be authentic, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
After listening and looking and being to actually see it, it's unbelievable. So your brain, I think, naturally is just no, it didn't happen. It's
Right.
it's so weird. And when you talk to so many people that have had haunted situations, like they're like, that didn't happen. Like,
Right.
nah,
Yeah.
it didn't happen. You
Which
know,
is a
it's
very like human survival thing, it feels like, to be
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
no, because if I open up this,
Yeah.
then what does that mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's intimidating.
Also, I will say, having bangs, sometimes I think I see things that aren't there because my bang, I'll catch it in the corner of my eye. And
As
I'm
it
like,
goes.
a bird's not
Right.
in my house. I always think it's a bird in my house. It's a bird. But yeah, I do think it's really interesting, though, to be someone who, is very interested, listens to other people's stories about it, and then to be like, but I don't know if what I felt that also is corroborated by other people
Yeah.
that they've seen it too. That like
Right.
the like, I wonder. Yeah, there is a curiosity there for me of like, yeah, I wonder why we're not believing, what we see.
It's kind of it's kind of silly, right? We should really believe ourselves and not think about how it affects other people. I mean, I don't think we
Right.
should live our life like that anyways. We should just do what makes us happy. Um
Right.
it's I I believe that I did see what she claims that happens in her house.
Yeah.
So I said that's so jumbled.
No.
Stu's believes. I believe
do
that
believes.
I believe I saw what she has said has happened in her home. I think I
Yeah.
saw it. I'll put that on record. I think I
Me
did
too.
see it.
I believe
Okay.
you saw that too.
I
And all
mean,
your friends are like, dude, you saw it. Like,
Oh yeah, they jumped on it immediately. They're like, yeah, you saw ghosts.
I mean, even like the giving the most, well, maybe you didn't see a ghost. If maybe it's just like a thought form that so many people are talking about it that they sort of created the energy that you were able to see the thing that people were talking about. Well, that's
Yeah.
fucking scary, or not scary, but that's
that's
paranormal too.
Yeah.
We're still about to stay there overnight, like
Yes.
by ourselves without the owner of the house. And I don't know why it's so different, but it's just so different.
Yes.
But we all went to, I can't remember. I don't think anything, did anything. Oh, so after that, later on,
Yes.
Pam, who was exploring the house by herself, the bravest friggin' 17-year-old, which how old she was at that time? No, she was like 19, 20. She's the bravest 20-year-old ever. She comes upstairs and she's like, so I was just downstairs near Raf's room. Raf had their son has like this apartment downstairs, super cool. And she's like, I was walking through and his door slammed. And I was like, oh, like, what do you mean? She's like,
Yeah.
well, like, I was walking through the hallway. Like, I went into the room, I took a look, and I walked out. And as I was walking down the hall, the door slammed behind me. I'm like, what? So we all go downstairs and we're all like, hey, open it. Is there a draft? What if the door was like this? And we're
Yes.
trying to like break it down and debunk it. But like then they were like, oh no, it just slammed on its own. And I was like, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, I've been here so many times and all the doors do are slam.
Yes.
So I didn't want to sleep by myself.
Oh.
So I was like, so what I did was I slept in Heather's room, which was so comfortable for some reason. It was such a good feeling in there.
Yeah.
So I slept in their room, even though there was a story of one night they were in bed and Aaron woke up in the middle of the night and the door was cracked open just like a bit. And he saw somebody looking at him through the crack of the door. So that's all I thought about when I was
my
lying there.
God.
So I was like, that door's staying fucking closed.
Yes.
Not. But we, slept, woke up in the morning, and we were packing out that day, and we all kind of get out, and my friend Kristen slept with me because I was like, she's like, I'm not fucking sleeping alone. I'm like, no, I'm cool. Neither am I. My friend Nikki, she slept in Noah's bedroom, and so we're all like getting ready and trying to make something to eat before we leave. And Nikki was like, so I think I had an experience last night. I was like, what happened? And she said that so there's a ghost named Polly that loves Noah, and Polly would visit Noah all the time. And they had spoken to Polly on a Ouija board, and Heather had asked, "Why do you always go and see Noah?" And the ghost spelt out love. She loves her.
Oh,
So sweet.
Whoa.
So Nikki said that when she was sleeping, she kind of half woke up, and she was lying there, and she said she felt someone's hand on her hip, just gently rubbing it, like in an affectionate, kind of like a grandmotherly sort of way. She said she didn't feel scared, and she's like, it actually helped me go back to sleep. And I was like, well, I know that that's where Polly goes all the time. And if Noah's room is occupied, she goes to check to see if it's Noah. So.
Whoa.
So we packed up.
My gosh.
So yeah, we packed up, and we were all it was such a beautiful house, and we had such a beautiful time.
Yeah.
And it was, I think that if we had stayed another day, it would have gotten really crazy.
Yeah.
But because we were only there for 2 nights. But every time I go back to that house, something different is going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
do they think the ghosts are previous tenants or like people who've lived there, or because it's a funeral home? So
Well, interestingly enough, the house is haunted by the families that resided there. So there was the Hicks family. And I can't believe I can't remember this right now. This is crazy. There was the Hicks family that lived there for a really long time. And they had a whole bunch of different people that were there. They're haunting the house. And then there was another family that was there for a long period of time. And they're haunting the house. Their children are haunting the house. And the people that owned it, that transformed it into a funeral home, nothing happened to them. They don't live there.
well,
they don't haunt the place.
They're like, we get
Right.
death and we're not doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're moving on quick.
But the place also stayed vacant for like a few years before Heather bought it. So they do have, I have to say, like, have a real skeleton a real human skeleton in their house. They have, when they were clearing out the basement, they found a body box. So, in the movies when you see, bodies being transported, how like everyone's waiting on the plane because they're loading in the coffin. So they don't do that. They actually transport bodies in cardboard boxes.
Yes.
And they're called body boxes. And they, when they go to the funeral home, they basically stack up, and then, because you can't throw it out, you can't put it out with your recycling. So you have to have them incinerated.
Whoa.
And so when they were there, when they moved in, they were hoping to find like a lot of cool old stuff, and there wasn't anything. The people that lived there, they cleaned it out quite professionally, but they found a body box. So they didn't know what to do with it, and they felt terrible like throwing it out. So they framed it and they put it in the hallway. So I'm always like, I wonder if that's one of your people that walk around.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because like his body box is there, or I don't know. There is a very scary ghost on the. It's an upper level. The house is so like different, and it's Victorian, and I call him a loomer because he's in the corner of the room. And it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Like, if you went in tomorrow and I didn't tell you the story, you'd be like, what this room sucks. Like, so it used to be a body.
Ew.
It was a body embalming overflow room. So they did all the embalming downstairs, but when they had maybe too many bodies, they would have them upstairs as well. And this room, we had like everyone go in there and like, tell me what you feel in this room. Like, we want to know what you feel. And everyone, this is the same corner. Everyone felt this. It's this really heavy on the chest, gross feeling, and you really don't feel wanted. He really doesn't like women.
Ew.
Yeah, that ghost is very obvious. And that I'm speaking as if I know for a fact, but like the room sucks.
It.
Yeah.
Ew.
So yeah, we brought everyone up there just to kind of like test it out, and
yeah,
everyone was like, it sucks, and so we left. But the rest of the house feels like really good, and the ghosts are really, really nice. And except they have a mimic.
No, my
scary.
God. Come on.
I mean, you can hear the extent of it on my the episodes are called The Blumbergs, and the second runner-up, or the second follow-up, is called The Ghosts of the Manor.
Right.
But they have a mimic, that ghost that mimics their family. So, you know,
oh my God.
Heather one time had a full conversation with her husband and realized it wasn't her husband.
No.
I hate that.
Oh God.
I know. One time, Aaron, who is a skeptic too, like doesn't really believe, wasn't on board with the whole ghost thing. He one time saw his son walk through a room, and then he called out to him asking him if he wanted a drink, and he didn't answer him. And he walked into the room that Raph had walked into and saw that he wasn't there. And they call each other because the house is so big. They just call each other.
Yeah.
And Raph was like downstairs in his room. Oh, they have a woman that says hello. That just opens the door and says hello. This house is haunted.
Would Heather ever try to cleanse the loomer room or anything?
No.
Or is she very much just kind of like, let's let them be?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so nice.
She is like, she doesn't think she has any right to come in there and tell them they can't be there. Nothing has hurt them. Nothing has harmed them. She's like, even if it does feel yucky up there, like she's like, it stays up there. So
yeah,
and that room is storage. Yeah, she uses it as storage.
Yeah.
And so that's just like, I mean, it's a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to go have a haunted experience, that's one of the most haunted places I've ever been to.
It really feels like you will have something happen, whether it's a door slam or you see some legs. Whoa.
The first time I was there, the very first time I ever met them, we had knocks and bangs and people walking. Second time, people walking, door slamming, all just it happens, and they don't blink when it happens.
Yeah,
it doesn't affect them at all because
for them
so
it's like
used to
living in an apartment building where you just hear your neighbors.
Yes.
Exactly. I personally did not want to hear children running through the hallway.
I'm with you. That's nasty.
I just didn't want to hear that. I was open to whatever, but I didn't want to hear kids laughing and running through the house. That's all I asked.
And hey, look, if someone took your life too soon, I hope you're having a blast up there, kids.
Me too. Yeah.
But have fun, but don't do it in front of me, man.
Yeah.
I can tell you what the story is. I just can't tell you on here.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
There's so many. There's actually, I think I can tell this because it was on the news. So prior to me visiting Heather for our second interview, unfortunately, the day before, someone had died on her property. She said it was extremely sad. It was a young guy. He was like 20 something. He was an international student, and he was found floating in the pool. And he had died. And his friends had said he didn't know how to swim. And so perhaps he dove into the pool, and he broke his neck and he died in the pool. It was really, really unfortunate.
Oh my
God. So sad. Young guy, and it was just him and his family were there. They were just like him and all his cousins. They were having this big dinner before they started school, and it was really unfortunate.
That's so sad. Yeah,
The
I mean,
circumstances were really strange, but
you know, I had a friend, one of my friends in college, she dove into a pool and luckily survived, but she is paraplegic now. And,
yeah,
and it's diving is dangerous is the kind of the takeaway is that
yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
What?
But it was just like Heather's, Heather, the wild things were going through Heather's brain. Like, why, if he didn't know how to swim, why would he dive into a
Why
pool?
would you die?
Yeah.
She's like, he was. She said there was a barbecue and there was some like lighter fluid. Maybe he, like a little bit of like a flame ball or something came up, and he thought that maybe, but he didn't have any burns or anything like that. So she was just like. And it's not like these guys were doing anything bad, but she was scared that because of all of the visitors and the people that have been bad, she's like, I hope the house wasn't like protecting itself.
Right.
I'm
Oh
like,
my God, that the house did it?
I'm like, that would be a really cool story, Heather, but I don't think that that's what's happening. She's like, I don't think it either. She's like, I don't think it either. She's like,
Either, I don't
just
either.
like, she's like, but, the thought, when you live in a haunted house, the thought crosses your mind. I don't know. I guess that's what happened.
In a horror movie, it would be like, oh, you think you see a child in the pool and maybe you're going to try to save the kid or something.
Oh, Marcy,
Right?
Good. That's good.
Yeah, it was just a really sad situation, but it just added to the eeriness of the house knowing that someone had just passed away there, unfortunately. But later on that evening, we were doing kind of doing like a ghost box. And that was a very strange night because I got a message from someone that I knew that passed away from college. He somehow decided to talk. Like, it was so strange. He decided to talk through the ghost box. I just took the opportunity, but the student was from India.
Yeah.
And we caught somebody talking with an accent on, because we were catching voices and it's just like jumbled, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm convincing myself of this. I'm like, but do you hear? And Aaron was like he has an accent from India, like he sounds like he's from India, right? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's what I hear. And so I have some friends from India, and I sent them the voicemail or the EVPs, and I'm like, can you tell me if this is saying anything? And they're like, it doesn't sound like anything, but they're like, it does have a bit of a twang though. It does sound like it has a bit of an accent. I'm like, wow. So weird. That house is so strange and so beautiful all at once.
It's interesting that it seems to be drawing so much energy from, like, if people that didn't live there, people are connecting with you there that you knew. Like, that's really fascinating. Like, I wonder what is going on there on the land.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever asked her, interestingly, about the history of the land. I know that it was a house that was built for, I think it was a wedding present or something. It's a house that had been built. This is their summer home, or am I confusing that with another haunted mansion I've been to? I like that. What's so funny is I love that I can't remember what haunted mansion has what story that I've
That is pretty fantastic. Been to too many haunted mansions.
It's a blessed life to know that many.
Yes.
There's also in Canada a place called Pioneer Village. And it is some of the earliest homes in the GTA that were built by pioneers that they've kind of collected and put into one space. That place is insanely haunted as well.
I mean,
yeah. And I've had experiences there.
Yeah.
And I've had many, I've become friends with the entire establishment.
Yes.
It's the Haunted Walk is the people that put on the tours, and I've become friends with their creative director and like all of their guides, because their stories are amazing because they're there nightly giving tours of these
Yeah.
haunted locations, and they have seen and experienced all sorts of crazy shit. And it's wild, wild, wild. I always suggest for people whenever they're traveling, the
Yeah.
best thing you should do is go on a ghost tour because you
Yes.
get to see a lot of beautiful architecture and a lot of history, but
Yep.
most importantly, ghosts.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have a really scary property.
What happened? What were some of your experiences there?
There is a house. I don't want to ruin it for people if they go, but I can if you'd like me to, but
You might as well. I mean,
They
there's
ruin
so
it.
many
Okay, I
people who
will.
won't have the chance to. They
Yeah,
can live
for sure.
vicariously. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Then we will. There's a house there called it's the Manse House. It's one of the oldest houses that are there. And there is a man ghost in that house that just does not like people.
I was about to say, I'm already upset when you said there was a man ghost.
Man goes, Marcy's out.
Yeah, they think that he might be a minister or someone that used to reside there, but he mainly causes a lot of commotion on the upper level that they've now blocked off. They don't allow people to go upstairs because people are passing out and like
He's a
people are-
problem.
Yeah. So you go in there, and when you're on your tour, I've taken the tour 7,000 times, and I decided to do it at night where there was only like a few people. So you can pay to do, something that's called Alone in the Dark, and you go and you actually can make contact with these pioneer ghosts. And so I did that, and so there's only a few of us in the establishment. And I felt he's just like sitting and talking. Like I had been in so many buildings, so many ghost stories, just standing there the first time. And I started to feel extremely angry, just so angry. I started getting very annoyed. And I was leaving the house. I left the house quite abruptly. And the tour guide turned to me and she's like, "Are you okay? Did something happen?" She's like, if something happens, you should tell us. And I was like, I just turned to this poor woman that I've never met before in my life, and I was like, I just want to burn that fucking house to the ground. And she was just like, what? And so I was like,
Please
I'm like, I
don't.
fucking hate that house. I'm like, I
What?
just want to burn it. I want to set it on fire. Like, it's the only thing I can tell you right now. I just want to set this on fire. And I just walked away. And I'm a nice person. Like, I'm not
I'm not an arsonist.
not a very aggressive person. I'm pretty chill, but I was so angry at this woman for asking me a question about the house, and I was so annoyed. I was like, I just want to burn that fucking house to the ground. And I afterwards I was just like, I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. I just felt very aggressive. And she's like, that's not the first time that's ever happened. She's like, you are probably one of the maybe one of 20 people that have come up to me afterwards and told me that they want to burn the house down or they hate it so much.
Whoa.
And I was like, fuck, really? I'm like, what does that mean?
I mean,
She
She said that ghost is so like, he's just so miserable that he just makes
Yep.
people feel his misery.
I mean, that's the downside of being an empath. If I don't know if you experience that in other ways, but like sometimes it's not just, oh, I feel bad for you. It's like sometimes I'm fucking mad too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, I think everyone is an empath at some point.
Mhm.
I have a hard time, like, and it's funny because I'll get a lot of messages from fans that are like, you're an empath. And I'm like, I'm not. I think I'm in a lot of haunted places, and you just constantly expose yourself to shit, then it's
Open
going to
and-
happen, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
We've all
So-
walked into a tense room. Like you've walked into like,
Yes.
oh, something's going on. So like in that way, it's like being
Right.
an empath is, not like supernatural. It's a human, I think,
It is.
skill.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, actually. Yeah, it is a human skill. I think some people perhaps just possess it more than others.
Yeah, if you grew up in
But-
a household, your parents are screaming a lot, you're probably great at it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. But like that experience just made me want to go back again. So
Oh,
I went back to the house.
like a
Went
moth
back
to the
Pioneer Village.
flame.
You can't. I've had this problem since I was a child. Like my school had a old Quaker graveyard in the back of it. You can't tear it down, right? So you buy the property, you have to leave the graves.
Yeah.
And they were graves that were inset into the ground. And like my favorite thing to do would be at recess to go sit at the graves by myself. And that could lead to me being completely outed as a child, and nobody wanted to play with me.
Oh, Danielle's in the
because
graveyard.
That's the girl that hangs out on the gravestone.
They were like,
But it was so comfortable to me. I felt so comfortable and calm there.
Oh.
Yes.
So I am extremely drawn, and I went back again. And I knew at that point that there was a ghost in there. So
Yep.
I tried to be extremely calm about things. So I stood in there. They gave their spiel. I didn't tell them who I was or how many times I had gone in there, and how I knew everyone there or anything like that. But I just like kind of stood there, and as I was leaving, nothing happened. I was like, okay, so there you go. There's your answer.
Yep.
One time, and as I'm leaving, this ghost rushes me from the upstairs stairwell, and he comes right down, and his face lands right at me.
No.
I didn't see it. You know how you can just see it like with your mind's eye, and it literally was just like, like, just fuck you, get out. I know who you are. I know you're back.
Yep.
Like, I get it. Like, I remember. And I actually flinched and kind of was like, like a what the fuck? And ran out of the house. Like, I was like, what the fuck was that? And I was because it was right at the door too. So I was like standing there, and I was like, oh my God. And everyone's like, what happened? What happened? Was it a ghost? Oh my God. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. And so the tour guide was just like, tell me what happened. And I told her, and I was like, sorry, I just felt like I got rushed. She's like, and of course, well, you're not the first person to tell me. Apparently this ghost likes to rush down the stairs when people are leaving and just be like, now that you're getting out, stay out, kind of situation.
Rude.
Whoa.
So I figured what I would do is go back again. And I love when men challenge me.
Right.
I go back over and over again, just especially if it's bothering them. And I go in there, and there's a lot of people in there at that point. And I'm standing there, and this is again happened on many other tours. This one girl just starts screaming her face off, and she's just pushing to get out of the house, and she's like, somebody touch me, touch me. It was a little elaborate, but not everyone's composed.
Right.
Like, obviously I am screaming to get out of the house. Grab the fucking house up. And when she went outside, her boyfriend was like, yo, like, what's wrong? And she's like, something grabbed my arm. I swear to God. And everyone's like, and so the tour guide is like trying to just wrangle all these people in, and everyone's like, what? Oh my God, no, it didn't. Did it really? I felt it too. That place is so fucked up. And everyone's just going crazy. And the tour guide's like, okay, guys, like, let's just go talk about our feelings over here. Like, everyone calm down, And I stood there, and I was like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yes.
So I've got to come back again.
Well, look,
my God, I want to go so bad.
I've gone back to that place, and I've done that tour like at least 11 times.
Wow.
It is a beautifully curated tour. The different houses there is one house that has a weeping widow in it. She is very sad and sits on the couch, and she cries. there's a ghost. Oh, his name's Jonathan, I think, that they actually knock on the door and they say goodnight to every day, because if you don't, you go in there the next day and all the beds are messed up. All the covers have been messed up.
He's like, nobody told me night night. No one said goodnight to me.
And
a lot of ghosts are really petulant. That's the real takeaway.
They don't have anything else to do.
They get to be.
Yeah. Grow up, ghost.
Come on, and then I'm trying to remember if there's another one. I think that's all of them. There was a woman in a blue dress that's often seen there. And there's so many more.
It's incredible. That's
Pioneer
Pioneer Town, or
it's called Black Creek Pioneer Village.
Black Creek
Cool.
Pioneer
Outside
Village.
of Toronto?
Yeah.
Or like in Toronto?
It's in the GTA. Yeah.
Cool.
So you can go. They usually do a lot of school tours there. So they actually show pioneer life. There's a lot of people that dress up in reenactments.
Yeah.
And so I think that also probably encourages the hauntings there, where they're dressed up as pioneers and they're doing the pioneer things, like making candles or candy or whatever they did.
What is the saying? Energy goes where attention flows.
Yeah, well, that sounds right.
Yeah. Don't know. I might have made it up. I don't know. But
I don't know.
If you did, that's great. I'm going to use it now.
Yeah,
as
really good.
Might be the episode.
As Mossy says. Energy.
Mossy says.
Mossy. These, I can't believe that this is just the tip of the iceberg with your stories. This is incredible. Do you have time to listen to one of our listener stories?
I would love to listen to one of our
I'm
listener
going to
stories.
play one then. I think I'm playing. There we go.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say one more story. This one's a short one. In my journey, kind of diving more into my spirituality and feeling more comfortable with my gifts and being able to see ghosts and everything, I've started meditating a lot and having a lot of dreams. And in these meditations and in these dreams, I'm often guided by a raven or a crow. And I debated whether or not if I should submit this to y'all, but it does have to do with having a funny feeling. So I oftentimes, like in my hard moments, like a raven will come very close to me, and like I always see it as like a good omen, or a crow will get really close to me, just like very close with those birds. And there's like a time when my friend was visiting and we were on a hike and we got lost. We did not follow the map. And we hadn't seen crows or ravens the whole hike. And I was kind of bummed about that because I obviously love them. But I wasn't really looking for them either. But we got lost. And the moment we got lost, we were like started to go down. We were like, let's go this way and like see what happens. And I just like wasn't sure where we were. There wasn't really anyone around to ask. And then two huge ravens kind of start flying in a different direction. And something inside me was just like, I need to follow them. Like they're gonna, and like we were in the middle of a forest. We couldn't, like, it was just kind of like confusing. So I turned to my friend and I was like, how weird would it be if we just like followed the ravens? And she was like, honestly, at this point, I trust you. And so I was like, okay. So we followed the ravens. They took us to a clearing where there was a park ranger there. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. So we were talking to the park ranger, getting directions. As we were talking to the park ranger, the ravens flew above our head in a circle and just like hung out with us for a bit. And then as soon as we were done talking to the park ranger, we got the directions. They flew to my car and landed right next to my car. And like, we're kind of like, come here, dumb guy. Like, this is where you're supposed to be going. Here's your fucking car. And it was really lovely and sweet of them. And whether or not people believe if it was just a really wild coincidence or not, I do believe that they were there to guide me, because they took us to the park ranger, and then they took us to the car, and it was extremely wild. And so, yep, shout out to the Ravens. And yeah, thanks y'all for listening to my stories. Stay spooky. I hope you didn't shit your pants. And would love to hear if y'all have any animal connections. And say hi to your kitties for me, Marcy. Have a lovely day.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
I love that. Betsy and I are a little scared of birds, right, Betsy?
I don't like them.
I do
I like
love
ducks and penguins.
I love crows and ravens, though. I really do.
Oh, me too. And that's like, ravens are messengers.
Yes.
It's funny because like Edgar Allan Poe, really, The Raven is probably one of the greatest things I've ever read. But it's a very good example of how they are messengers.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people talk about ravens being birds in general being really predominant through hard times, or like cardinals, and yeah, like a lot of people see cardinals, or
I
like they'll
was
see like
just
a little
Yes.
yellow finch or something like that. Like a lot of people really rely on birds as
Yep.
signs from the afterlife. So I believe her.
I was just
I believe him.
thinking about that. We had a family reunion years ago,
Yeah.
and it must have been, it was before the pandemic, so 2018 or 2019, and we were in the Appalachian Mountains in Pigeon Forge,
Oh,
and
Oh.
staying. So it was like about like I think like 50 different people, or 50 to 60 family members, and it's from my mom's side of the family. And I was thinking about her dad, and then I saw a red cardinal just like sitting outside on the balcony,
That's
like
so nice.
and I was like, oh, I think that's him, because it was like winter, and
Yeah.
there aren't a lot of birds. Like there aren't a lot of birds there, and I was like, oh, that's him. He's checking in.
I totally believe it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
it doesn't really make sense that it doesn't exist. It's nature, and it knows a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
And I think
Right.
that there's a lot of, we had someone in my family that was extremely close to us pass away, and I used to always bother. I've collected feathers since I was a kid, just a thing, and rocks. And he used to have these wild turkey feathers that he'd turn into fishing lures, and I would bother him for them all the time because I was like, they were so beautiful. I was like, can I have these? And he was a rough man, and he was lovely, but he was just like this little rough Italian man. He was like, no, you can't fucking have them. I need them for my fishing lures. And then eventually, because he's such a softie, he would come over and he'd come and bring me one of the feathers. When he passed away, we found I've lived in my house for, I don't know, like over 10 years. And I spend a lot of time in the backyard, especially with my dogs. And, we'll see that we have birds all the time.
Yeah.
But like for someone that collects feathers, I don't get any feathers. After he died, my backyard every morning was littered with feathers. Not like one feather. Like I'd go out there and there'd be like 25 feathers. Like someone had just like skinned a bird.
Yeah. Were they really bloody feathers?
Somebody murdering. For the first day I went out, I was like, oh shit, I think a bird got killed out here. I'm like, but what? You know what I mean? And then I started getting, I have a fireplace outside, and I've got stone, and I would be walking outside in the morning to let my dogs out, and I now have his dog. So I adopted his dog after he passed away.
Yep.
And so I'd be letting them outside to like go to the bathroom, and there would be feathers sticking out of the stones that were up straight. There would be blue jay feathers, cardinal feathers, like just completely unusual things. And whenever I would get nervous, like one time I was in Vancouver, and I just started getting I just didn't want to fly. I hadn't slept very well. I'm like, I just don't want to be on the plane. I was just feeling nervous, and I was just like, ugh. And I was returning my car, and I closed the trunk, and this feather flew up in an underground parking lot. This white feather was like this big, and like landed in front of me. So it's just like, I really feel like the whole bird connection is extremely valid. Even when I was in LA last, actually, the last time I was there, when I got to meet you guys, was outside of my Airbnb. There was a fucking feather as soon as I came in. It was crazy. It's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
So I believe them. I think that's
Yeah.
a very true connection for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is like, that's too many crazy coincidences for it
It's
not
too
to
many.
be like, that's too quinky dinky.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's
You
gotta
either
be
believe
that.
in coincidence or you believe in the unknown, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah. And there can be both. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Whoa.
This was so great talking to you.
Yeah,
This was
Danielle,
Oh, it was so
thank
great talking to you
you.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell everyone where to find you and your podcasts. You're on SpectreVision, of course. So
We are yes, we are. We are sister podcasts on SpectreVision Radio. We are Geist, available on all platforms, Apple, Spotify, etc. You can find us on Instagram at Geist_podcast, and you'll see the links to my Instagram. And you can follow us on all social media at Geist Podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, this was so awesome. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Thank you guys. It was so much fun. Thank you for letting me talk about all these spooky little
Oh.
things.
A dream.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy, and don't shit your pants.